All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another market open. It is the last day of February 2022. Wait, what am I saying? It's last day of February 2023. Wow, that's how you know I'm out of it a little bit. But 2023, last day of February 2020, February 28th. It is not a leap year, so we don't have February 29th this year. And we're moving on to March tomorrow. Which is kind of crazy. Cash King, good morning, Amit. I've never done an EV in my life. Going to test drive the Rivian R1T today. They also have earnings after the bell. Should be shorted. I would not recommend shorting it because you never know what could happen. But I've never driven a Rivian. I have driven a Tesla once, and it was pretty cool. So enjoy driving that. Patiently waiting. LOL. Thank you for your consistency and dedication. Jason, thanks for being here. Seth Roth, good morning. Drew, Amron, Ahad, Jason, Vincent, Ramu. We have a bunch of Jasons. Jason Reynolds, Jason Nokera, Kevin Smith. Yo, what's up, kid? What's up, man? iBot says, where are you? Do you think you're Iden? I don't know what that means, but I'm in New Jersey. And it was snowing all last night in New Jersey. So we have some snow in the Jers. Miyoko, my mom, good morning. Ray sees the day. Real life, I'd for March. UCUS, yo. Yes, that's also too. The Ides of March are in March as well. Dario, good morning. All right, so we've got a bunch of news to talk about. The first thing I want to bring everyone's attention to is a video that I will make later today because this one is something that probably deserves a deep dive. Palantir and the unraveling of the potential 480 million pound contract, which is I think about $360 million over 5 years that they were supposed to be able to get. This article came out while I was sleeping by the Financial Times. And essentially, the article says that there's a group of people that are in the UK, group of technology companies, that are challenging Palantir in order to be able to get this deal. So let's open this up right here. It's a very, very interesting, concept. I mean, we kind of all knew this was happening, but the companies, which include Voror Health Technologies, Eclipse, and Blackpeer, told the Financial Times they could provide software at a fraction of the cost budgeted while also safeguarding UK patient data and reinvesting in the healthcare system. So they want to do the sort of like foundry overhaul of the NHS for much less than 480 million pounds. And their sort of key point here is that they're going to safeguard UK patient data, which means they won't let it be violated or anything like that. Now, if you know my opinion on this is absolute nonsense. Palantir is not taking your data and throwing it away. They're not spying on it. This is the horrible misconception that exists around this company. And unfortunately, it's a stain that they haven't been able to get off their brand. But a lot of people in the UK feel as if Palantir is going to manipulate that data when there is literally zero incentive to manipulate that data. That's not how Palantir was built. That's not how the technology works. Nothing like that. I think the only thing here really is the cost. I mean, if these three companies can do it for a fraction of the cost, that's something that obviously as a government you want to pay attention to because you don't want to overpay for technology. The question is, can they actually do it? And that's the hard part here. So Julian Brown, chief executive of Eclipse, says, we know that the NHS is a very complex system and different from other healthcare systems around the world. That's a shade at the United States, particularly in terms of its meticulous protection of patient data. That's also shade against the United States. We were very keen that the NHS stays in control of the data and to reinvest the revenue in the frontline NHS services. Now, Palantir is not in control of the data. Palantir is helping the NHS be in control of their data, which is, again, the misconception. And honestly, Palantir has just done a horrible job. They've published some articles, but they haven't been able to get the entire country to realize that they do a phenomenal job at protecting this data. I'll get to the comments in just one second. So, as a result of that, this is the issue that we're having. Now, a lot of these companies were not here when COVID vaccine distribution needed to be done, when solving patient backlogs needed to be done. I mean, these companies just didn't step up the way Palantir did, which is why they got this 24 million euro contract back in December 2020 for 2 years. I think it's about $34 million, something like that. So at that point, Palantir has proven they can do the job. I still think there's a chance they get this contract. It's just harder now when you've got all the political propaganda going on. And you've also got, just too many companies trying to break you up at the end of the day. So that's the sad part about it. Again, I'll do a deeper video probably in like an hour or two. So you guys will see a deeper dive on that. But I don't know. There's something in my gut that tells me Palantir might still end up getting the deal just because we need something that's effective at the end of the day. All right, let me get to some of these comments. CodeStrap new video. Yes, CodeStrap has an exciting update, so he'll be back on that soon. So we'll see CodeStrap's. I was talking to CodeStrap a month ago, and he was telling me a little bit about his update. I can't say what it is, but when he announces it, I think you guys will enjoy the update. It's a pretty cool thing. Here we go. Good morning, Amit John. Good morning. Thanks for the shout out. Of course, Jason O'Cara. I think I try to respond to literally every comment because I like the fact that you guys are here with me in the morning is so cool, bro. It's so awesome to start the day like this. So shout out to 197 people being here. Thank you for being here. Good morning. How's the interview with Carp? Didn't have an interview with Carp yet. Oh, that guy that I'm meeting is tomorrow. I'm meeting a Palantir shareholder who's been in the stock since 2019. At his offices in New Jersey. So I'm going to meet him tomorrow. Hi, Amit. What do you think about Palantir layoffs? Carp said last month there will be possible hiring of people. And now this. Yeah. So there were 2% layoffs that resulted in about 75 jobs. Honestly, it was like recruiters. It wasn't like engineers or sales folks or people like that. At least that's what I understand to my knowledge. So I think the layoffs are, the media made a little bit of a big deal out of it. And look, like you expected hiring, not layoffs, but 70 jobs is not that crazy. To me, I think they're trying to remain gap profitable and they got to get rid of some baggage. And if they got to get rid of some baggage, they got to get rid of some baggage. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Jason Hellier, what's up? Fadi, what's up? Upstate, 5 inches just came in. Yep, there's a lot of snow. Gabe, what's up? Amit sleeps. I definitely sleep during night. I definitely see. It's not like I stay up all night, except some days I have to stay up. Samrat, what's up? Glitch Life, I'm officially capitulating this week. What does that mean, Glitch Life? Does that mean you are officially going short? Or, I mean, I know you're short for some stocks, but I'm not sure. Quarantine Quartet, what's up? Sasky Rose, what's up? ADJ, you're a dope ass dude. Thank you. What's up? Amit, analysts give Palantir 75% 5-year EPS growth rate. Do you think they can live up to that? I wrote an article yesterday on dailypalantir.com of my Q4 earnings deep dives. I suggest everyone go check it out. At the end of the article, I conclude that a lot of these numbers are not as relevant because Palantir has not hit its growth curve yet. It's an inflection point, the S curve that we're all talking about. So, I mean, yeah, it could be more than 70% EPS growth. It could be less than that. It's just a question of can they grow into the company we think they can become? And either we're right on this, either we're wrong, right? It's like, it's literally binary, I think, when it comes to Palantir. So we will ultimately see. John, what's up, Amit? Thank you for being here, John. What's up? All right, so we've got Palantir at 803, down in the pre-market 802. I did buy 50 shares of Palantir yesterday, I think at like 810, something like that. Apple 146 down pre-market. Tesla, we have Investor Day. Me and Vitaly did a whole Investor Day episode for the Daily Cabo. That'll be out tomorrow. The regular Daily Cabo will be out today. We talked about Zoom earnings, talked about Meta, and we talked about Charlie Munger and Tesla. Now let's go to Zoom. Look, Zoom was very, very confusing to me. It's up 2% in the pre-market. It did $1.12 billion of revenue. It beat analysts' expectations on EPS from like $1.12 versus 88 cents. It beat revenue by like 0.2 billion. So, I mean, Zoom had a decent earnings, but the revenue growth is 4%. I don't know how this can be a top 3 allocation in Cathie Wood's ARK Innovation Growth ETF, giving investors exposure to growth when it's only growing 4%. So, like, again, we talked about Zoom. I think it's a 15,000x better product than Google and Microsoft. Genuinely, FaceTime, all of that. I think it's the best product. I pay for it. It's not growing at the level where you think it's going to get to $500 a share again. Remember, Zoom, $588, October 2020. I saw this happen. I had the FOMO. I didn't buy. I had the FOMO though, because you're like, oh, the whole world's going to use Zoom. Everything's shut down. We should buy Zoom. And then it obviously came crashing down when you realize, wait a second, the pandemic's not going to last forever. And that happened to a lot of companies, right? So I don't know. I would not be surprised if Cathie Wood just liquidates this stock because there is nothing revolutionary or innovative about Zoom. It's a great product. Don't get me wrong. I love the product. The reason I pay $15 a month for it is because I use it so much. But it's not like the next Tesla or the next metaverse or whatever, the thing that they try to pitch themselves as. Like, and I think Zoom's been pretty humble about what they try to do. It's Cathie that's been hyping them up a little bit more. SoFi at 642. What else do we have? We have Meta 160. Oh, Meta's up a little bit, pre-market 171. So we have the market open in about 10 seconds. This is the last market open of February 2022. And then we move on. Why do I keep saying 22? February 2023. And then we move on to March. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 9:30 a.m., February 28th, 2023. In the next 5 years, one day you'll be randomly walking down the street and remember that you were here for the market open, and it'll hit you like a brick, and it'll make you question the meaning of your life, because that's how life happens. All right, the market's open. Wake your ass up. The market is open. That actually is a philosophical concept by Albert Camus. He's like, one day you're just walking down the street and then something hits you and you realize like you're in this space and time and you're like, you can't kind of fathom the position you're in. And like, there are moments where you'll just remember, oh, I was watching Amit and the market open like a couple of years ago. And like, you're going to start wondering like, where's Amit? What is he doing in his life? It's going to be cool. You got to give it a couple of years though. And hopefully you guys are still with me by then, but we'll see what happens. It happens to me too, about the creators I used to watch a while ago. All right, Palantir 797 down 0.75%, Coinbase 60 up 1.73%. Ginkgo Bioworks has earnings today. March 1st. I am going to be interested in seeing what these guys put up because the stock is so down, and I'm like, man, it's not that crazy to put $1,000 at it, but I need to see these earnings. I really need to see these earnings and kind of what they're doing and how they're thinking of growth, because the management is selling off too much of that stock. Nvidia 234, Tesla at 210, S&P at 397, down from 399 yesterday. SoFi at 652, Google 89, under $90, AMD 77, under 81 from last week. Spotify down 116, down from 124 last week. Nasdaq down 100, about 16 points, so relatively flat in the morning, 11,452. Nothing too crazy. The triple leveraged bearish semiconductor ETF is up, which means other stocks are down, like Nvidia and AMD. Enphase at 210, CleanSpark at 2.7. This is a Bitcoin mining energy stock. What else do we have? We have Palantir below 8. Let's get into Roku. Where's Roku at? Roku's at 62.38, and then Zoom that just had earnings yesterday. Okay, Zoom maintaining a little bit of its earnings gains at 4% in the market open. Amid liquidating my entire portfolio, getting out of the market, getting 100% out of debt, I am going to focus on my own startup business while finishing my graduate program. Wow. This is interesting because Glitch, you were short the market and then you were long Palantir and DNA. So now you are liquidating your entire portfolio. That's a pretty big deal. Okay. Well, look, I mean, it's a tough time to be in the market right now, so I can understand the position completely. Folly says, do you think Block can open Cash App to the international market? People still here don't know what Cash App is. Yes, the thing about Cash App is that the advertising they have done has been very contextual to the American audience. Cash App is a phenomenal app. I'm going to get a haircut today and use Cash App because that's how I pay my barber. But a lot of the advertising I've seen has been sponsoring American podcasts, and primarily they've been sponsoring hip-hop podcasts, like the Joe Budden podcast. They were a big sponsor of them. They sponsor like a lot of comedy stuff in the United States. So they would have to really expand their international presence to be a force to be reckoned with around the world and compete with the other payment products. But definitely in the United States, they use it a lot. Block is trash. I mean, I don't think they're trash, man. Their earnings, they're up 40% year over year in profit, not even revenue. They did 1.68 billion in profit. So I don't think Block is trash. I don't know if it's overvalued per se. I would buy SoFi over Block if I had to pick a fintech, but I definitely don't think it's trash. But Venmo, Cash App any day. Yeah, I mean, Venmo is good, but the interesting thing about Venmo is it's not that exciting. It's not that when I mean exciting, I mean like it's not the user interface is not that interesting, and it's also not as kind of quick to send money in certain places. But also, I mean, I'll use Venmo if someone has Venmo, but Cash App it's just a little easier. But I use Venmo more than Cash App for sure. But Cash App has survived, and that's probably due to marketing as well and just product enhancements. I think you can buy stuff on Cash App too. Like you can buy crypto. I don't think you can buy stuff on Venmo. It's not like a pseudo brokerage, I guess I would say. Tesla Investor Day is going to be March 1st. We're going to two things that are on my radar. Number one, what is their plan for sustainable energy across the world? I think that plan is going to be incredibly interesting, especially whatever Elon teases. Number two is this $25,000 car. It hit me last night. They announced the Cybertruck in 2019. 2019 is when they announced the Cybertruck, and we still don't have the Cybertruck yet. And I don't blame Elon for that, right? Like that's, it takes time to do that stuff. It's not easy. But the fact that they announced it 4 years ago almost, and it hasn't come out, means that if they do announce a $25,000 car, it's likely also not going to be something that's coming super soon, right? And I think that's what we all have to watch out for, because if it's not coming super soon, then it will get people excited for sure. I mean, if you come up with if you compete with the Honda Civic and Toyota, I paid 21 grand for my Honda Civic and probably add another 4 grand with maintenance and all the random stuff I paid for over the patent gas or everything, right, over the past 4 years. 25 grand for a Tesla. That's like, I mean, I'm like, I would cough up an extra $4,000 to pay. And I like for a Tesla that competes with a Corolla, that's going to be exciting. That's going to be exciting. The question is, just if they're going to be able to do that, if they're going to be able to get that out there. Cash App has zero moat. PayPal is 10x more integrated in society. I disagree with this one. I mean, Cash App, it has 50 million monthly transacting users. People use it. People use Cash App. I'm not saying like PayPal isn't strong, but people definitely use Cash App. That is, I mean, if you look at Block's earnings, Cash App, I think it's like $848 million in revenue or something. It wasn't bad. Tell me about your meeting yesterday with that guy. Okay, so I had a meeting yesterday with a pretty good. So I guess this kind of relates to business and media. So I can incorporate talking about myself, but also talking about stocks. There's a company called Morning Brew that acquired a company called Our Future. And they acquired them for how much did they acquire? Well, he didn't tell me how much. He can't tell me how much they acquired them for. But the guy sold his company to them, and if this should make us all bullish on media companies writ large. Now he sold his TikTok account, but like Meta, and we also have to talk about TikTok, so that weaves into this. TikTok might be getting banned. There's officially banned. There's something coming out. But this is Michael Skiand. He sold his company to Morning Brew at the age of 22. And he built a TikTok account. Literally, it just has 250,000 followers, and he just does TikToks about stories and stuff like that. And I went to talk to him to tell him about my startup because he knows some very high-level podcasters. And I was like, bro, I need a connection with those podcasters. And he was super cool, and he's gonna make the connection for me. He's super, super awesome guy, dope guy. What was interesting about this meeting, though, and I wanted to do a whole late-night stock talks about this. So he works at Morning Brew, and Morning Brew has a VC fund, about $8.5 million. And as soon as we were done with the meeting, I started walking away, going back to my train. And he calls me. He's like, yo, come back to the office. The head of our VC fund wants to hear your pitch. And I was like, all right. My phone was on like 7%. I was like, all right, give me 10 minutes. And so I ran back to their office in 22 and West 19th Street. And then I walk in and I start pitching the head VC there, which was super cool. It was super like just spontaneous. And it was a pretty good meeting. And, we'll see what happens from there. But it was pretty cool just to like pitch them and talk about this. But the point of this is TikTok as a growth engine for distribution of content is absolutely phenomenal. It allowed this kid at 22 to sell his business to a $70 million newsletter, which is Morning Brew. If you haven't heard of them, they're a pretty big newsletter. And now TikTok might end up getting banned, which means things that this kid was able to do might not happen anymore because we have a new report coming out that says TikTok is potentially getting banned. But it does show what media and distribution really can do for you. I mean, at 22 years old, this kid selling his company, like I started my startup at 22. This kid sold his startup at 22. I mean, like it's just absolutely incredible. And it also leans into why was this able to happen? Because the TikTok algorithm is fundamentally different than anything else. And so as a result of that, I'm trying to pull up this article right here. This might be good for Meta. The reason this might be good for Meta is because if TikTok gets banned and that algorithm fundamentally shifts, then that algorithm shift and that content shift is going to happen to Facebook. So new TikTok ban is poised to advance in Congress. A bill to revise legal protections that have shielded TikTok from U.S. sanctions. Sanctions meanings it's banned, right? Sanction meaning they're not going to allow this in the country. Expected to pass a key House committee on Tuesday, paving the way for a broader ban on the popular short video app. Sponsored by the House of Foreign Affairs Committee, the bill would strip longstanding protections from companies that transfer the sensitive personal data of Americans, entities, or individuals in China. Now, here's the interesting thing, all right? Here's the interesting political angle to this. This is something that's incredibly important. The bill would likely pass the Republican-controlled House easily. You would imagine Republicans, right, anti-China, they would pass it. Its fate in the Democratic majority Senate is unclear. If we get a pseudo TikTok China sanctions ban, or at least like the foundational legislation to be able to create that ban that is passed in the Republican-controlled House. If it is not passed in the Democratic majority Senate, that would be very interesting because Democrats have been anti-China, but TikTok has also lobbied a lot of Democratic. TikTok's this kind of liberal app where people, it's like. It's one of those things where it would be interesting to see the Democrats take a stance for China when obviously we know, what TikTok is. Now, I mean, I use TikTok. I use it for my business. I try to get, views and attention and leads from it. I actually been able to make some decent connections from TikTok. So honestly, I kind of, it's been a meaningful product for me. But if I'm speaking objectively, I would imagine that the United States would ban it, just given everything that's going on with Russia and Ukraine. But I don't think that's going to happen. So we will see. Did you buy Google under 90? No, I didn't buy Google under 90 because it was $89, so I didn't buy it under 90. Christian said, no way. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. The dude literally, he called me up. He's like, yo, can you come back to our office? Because like the VC wants to hear. Like, that's why he was so cool, because he mentioned my startup 5 minutes later to the head VC at Morning Brew. And the head VC is super bullish on audio. And, you know why Michael left podcasting to start TikTok? That's the name of the guy who sold his company, because podcasting didn't have distribution. So that's why he was so sympathetic to my startup, because he was like, bro, I made a podcast and I stopped it because I couldn't get any traction, because podcasts they don't get any attention, right? They don't go viral. This is the big problem that my startup is trying to solve. And so that's why he started doing TikTok. And then TikTok was obviously a lot more successful for him, because TikTok has an algorithm that gets creators discovered. My hypothesis is, if we create that algorithm for audio, this shit goes to the freaking moon. It's just really hard to do it. But if we do it, we go to the freaking moon. And so the fact that he mentioned it to the head VC like 5 minutes later, and then they called me back, was just super, super dope. So he was a dope guy. Super duper dope guy. How is Audio latest version going? It's going really well. I know it hasn't launched yet. I'm actually in my investor update that I'm putting out tomorrow. I'm going to give the link to anyone who wants to see it, even though it's not live. The reason it's not live is because there was a little bit of an issue on the back end connecting it to some of the stats, but otherwise it's ready to go. I mean, it's been done for like a week. It's just, we haven't pushed it live yet. But I in that investor update, I will send the link. So if you guys want to know the investor update, wefunder.com/audia/updates. And tomorrow you'll see like the pseudo link you can click to see everything and play with it, even though it's not officially live. So for those that are interested, it'll be live tomorrow. Morning just joined. Fundamentals of Investing podcast. Speaking of Tesla, did you talk about the Mexico plant yet? Confirmed this morning by Mexico's president. Tesla will announce it tomorrow at Investor Day. I just saw this actually come up on Twitter. So Tesla is adding a plant in Mexico, which is super, super cool. And I'm going to show your tweet right here, Tavis. Actually, it's easier. While I'm doing this, Christian says, did they acquire the personal brand? They just acquired the account. They're a media company. So all they want to do is acquire the account. They just want attention. So, they also acquired his clips agency. He does like social media clips for other companies or for other podcasts. So they acquired the agency and like the actual TikTok account itself. So Mexican President Almo confirms Tesla to construct a plant in Montero, Mexico. Okay, let's listen to a little bit of this.
Sobre Tesla. Van bien las cosas.
Never mind. There's no U.S. translation. But the point is, Mexican president confirms Tesla to construct a plant. So Tesla's expanding a plant in Mexico. This is good for Tesla. Obviously, more expansion for them. I know Korea was on the table as well. I don't know if that's fully confirmed. It might be, but it might also not be. But it seems like the Mexican president says that Mexico's confirmed, which is not bad. I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, ultimately, more expansion for Tesla at the end of the day. There's already an understanding that they're going to dedicate the investment to Mexico, and the plant will be established in Monterrey with a series of commitments to face problem of water scarcity. Yeah, it's good news for Tesla. More expansion. I mean, you got Giga Berlin, you got Giga Texas. Getting into Mexico is a big deal as well. You should go on Shark Tank. You know, Shark Tank's not really the type of company for my startup. But if we start growing more massively, I would love to get on Shark Tank for distribution. But Shark Tank's it's kind of not for like these niche startup apps. It's for like other stuff. That's like more the brand of it. Hopefully Audio doesn't go far until I can invest in it. Yeah, the funding round closed January 13th. So it's you can invest if you're an accredited investor, but if you're non-accredited, that was the last day to invest. Can y'all stop using personal experiences to justify Cash App valuation? Now remember, Cash App is part of Block. So even though Cash App may be overvalued, it's part of Block, which is a whole other integrated financial services company, right? Which is why I think Cash App is decent. Did you buy more Palantir at 8? Yes, I bought more Palantir yesterday. Meta needs to make a separate Reels app to try to compete with TikTok. I don't know. I don't think they need to do that. I think people use Reels in the app normally. I think it's pretty decent in the app. That is not the way Tesla makes announcements. That is true. So, I mean, maybe Tesla's waiting to officially announce it. Maybe on Investor Day. Who knows? Maybe they're going to announce it as well. You would see that. A whole agency for podcasts says, bro, you really need more than one person. That's the easy part of podcast. Yeah, so the guy I talked to yesterday, he manages like 5 or 6 people that do the agency. So that's why it's interesting. Oh, yes. Thank you, Carlos, for bringing this up. All right. We got to talk about this one. Elon Musk is potentially thinking of creating a competitor to OpenAI. And this is exciting for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's exciting because Elon doesn't get bored. And when you see someone do this stuff, you're like, what am I doing with my life? How am I not doing more than what I'm doing right now? Elon Musk is thinking of developing an open AI rival. Now, the reason for this is twofold. Number one, I mean, it's been a little obvious that OpenAI's models are trained on particular biases that have led to, I guess you could argue, some really interesting concepts when the search gives you a search result in terms of what it can and can't say. So there is a little bit of censorship in there that, that was obvious that was going to happen. But number two is Elon Musk co-founded OpenAI. People forget about that. Eventually, he left the nonprofit, but he always thought it would be a hedge against Google in case AI gets crazy. But now OpenAI has been monopolized and turned into a profitable company, and it's trying to compete with Google, and it's trying to be bigger than Google, which is against the vision of what Elon Musk originally thought. So now Elon has approached artificial intelligence researchers in recent weeks about forming a new research lab to develop an alternative to ChatGPT. This is what the information reports. The high-profile chatbot made by the startup OpenAI, according to two people. In recent months, Musk has repeatedly criticized OpenAI for installing safeguards that prevent ChatGPT from producing text that might offend users. To spearhead the effort, Musk has been recruiting Igor Babushikin, a researcher who recently left Alphabet's DeepMind AI unit and specialized in the kind of machine learning models that power chatbots like ChatGPT. This would be interesting, and I don't put it against Elon for doing this because he literally bought Twitter. He was like, there's a free speech problem. I'm spending $44 billion and buying the whole damn company. I mean, like, ChatGPT is not that special because we've seen Google come out with a competitor. Facebook's working on a competitor. Snapchat started a ChatGPT competitor that's called My AI. Quora has Po.com starting a competitor. Like, it's not like it's something proprietary that only they have access to. Even their models are open source, right? So Elon could come up with an alternative to it. The question becomes, why would people use it? And would there be some type of killer feature that would make it different from ChatGPT? Elon going to be distracted more. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't think Elon gets distracted. I think literally he just has new projects, and he just puts out those projects, and it's super, super dope. Super, super dope guy. It's so cool to see him just try different stuff. Now, that's like the seventh thing he would be working on with Starlink and Twitter and everything. But, it'd be pretty cool. I never use Reels, and I sit on TikTok for hours. Yeah, I mean, that's why if TikTok gets banned, it's going to be big for Meta. Because if TikTok gets banned, all those hours you're spending, they're going to have to go somewhere. And they're either going to go to YouTube Shorts or they're going to go to Instagram Reels. And I would argue that Instagram Reels has a pretty, pretty big chance to get some of them. Let's listen to this that's going to be affecting a lot of other financial technology companies. Let's hear some latest updates on the Supreme Court and student loans.
President Biden's student loan relief program heads to the Supreme Court, and Eamon Jevers joins us now.
It's a little laggy. Give it 1 second. Let me start it again.
Today, President Biden's student loan relief program heads to the Supreme Court.
Okay, I'm going to try it one more time, and if not, then we're not going to watch it. CNBC is being a little...
And Eamon Jevers joins us now with more.
It's being stupid, folks. I don't know why it's being stupid, but let's go back into the market. That's weird. Well, the ultimately, what's going on with student loans is that a majority conservative 9 Supreme Court panel is probably not going to allow the $10,000 elimination up to $20,000 if you have Pell Grants go through right through executive order. So that's likely what's going to happen. We are going to hear the arguments, though. I mean, if they let it go through, there's going to need to be one of those conservative justices that turns the cheek. And I don't know if there's enough juice to have one of those conservative justices turn the cheek. That will be seen. Biden will be blamed regardless. Yeah, whether it goes through or whether it does not go through, Biden's going to be blamed regardless. All right, we got. I thought it said Nvidia 207. I was like, oh, Nvidia dropped. No, that's Tesla 207. Nvidia 234. I've been reading a decent amount of articles talking about how unbelievably overvalued Nvidia is. Someone has a price target of $70 for Nvidia. It's interesting because even right now on the RSI, Nvidia is not above 70. It's at 58. So it's creeping up there, but it's not above 70. It was above 70 when it was 346 in 2021, which, yes, I think we all understand that. But It's, I don't know if it getting down to 70, a price target of 70 would be a lot for Nvidia, in my opinion. I don't know if it gets that low. What else we got? We got Spotify up 1.34%, Airbnb up 1.82%. It's holding on to its gains from earnings, and they had a pretty decent earnings. Nasdaq's flat. It's up 647. S&P is also flat. S&P is at 390, literally 0.08%. So, I mean, markets choosing to kind of stay normalized today, not do anything relatively up or down. Yesterday was more of a down day, and it recovered a little bit. Palantir is still stuck at $8. Apple 147, down from 151. So yeah, the market's not doing anything too crazy. Price target for me is around 110. Yeah, that's a reason. I mean, that's a price target that I've heard a lot of people reasonably say that could be there. So you think AI is the next big thing, but Nvidia should be 70? Yeah, that's why I think 70 is going to be hard for Nvidia to get to. Now, remember, AI being the next big thing is important, but it still might take some years for it to materialize in terms of like the real AI revolution, even though I know it's already here, but that's, I guess, something to think about. And hopefully there's a buying opportunity in between that. 304 people here. Thank you guys. Oh, by the way, let me give a quick shout out. In the description, there is a $250 discount you can use using my code if you want to have a session with Jason Calacanis. He's an angel investor. His team reached out to me. I'm not getting paid to do this. This is not sponsored. There's no affiliate deal. But if you want to have a one-day session, be part of a private Slack community, and talk live with Jason to learn how to angel invest into startups, it's $300. It's now $250 if you use my code AdmitIsLegit. I made them use my code AdmitIsLegit. And they don't make any money from this. They donate all the money. So the $50 is just like a ticket, but then they donate the $50 to like a bunch of different causes. So if you guys want to check it out, it's in the description. And you guys can sign up to learn how to be an angel investor. It's super cool, this deal that they're doing with Jason Calacanis. I am part of his founder university. I will be pitching him in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we can get him to invest in the startup. So they reached out to me to kind of offer this to an audience that they think you guys might care about startup investing. A lot of you invest in stocks in the public market, not really private markets. So they're like, maybe your audience cares about it. And I was like, maybe. I mean, I know they definitely care about like investing. So for $50 to be able to learn from Jason Calacanis for a day, it's actually a pretty dope deal in my opinion. And it's coming up on March 8th. So if you guys want to check it out, you can check it out. I talked to some tech workers. They absolutely love ChatGPT, but it's not at the stage they will pay for it. Yeah. I mean, I know some tech workers that are paying for it. $20 a month is nothing for it to help them with their code. The question just becomes, like how many people in the world are going to pay $20 a month? Like that's the problem. How many people in the world are going to pay $20 a month? Tesla has momentum already. It doesn't need Elon for the day-to-day. Let the man innovate in other areas. He will bring that innovation back to Tesla and make it better. I agree. I think Twitter is still going to help Tesla in some way that we all don't know yet. It's part of his like internal plans that he thinks of sleeping at night. And like we have no idea what Twitter is, what's really up his sleeve. And that's why it's so exciting in investing in Tesla and investing in Elon, because it's like, what are they going to do? We talked yesterday about Charlie Munger not investing in Elon at a $200 million valuation. I talked on the Cowbell today. I asked Vitaly, look, do you think Berkshire would invest at $650 billion or whatever the valuation is right now? And it would be hard for me to imagine they would invest, given they missed out on Tesla, the run, but they also barely understand Google. They don't get Meta. They missed out on every tech company outside of Apple, which they don't even think is a tech company. It would be hard for them to think of a Ford PE of like 3 compared to a Tesla Ford PE of 55 at this point. When Tesla was at a 25 Ford PE, one could argue is incredibly cheap at $105, and they still didn't, make the jump. So at 55 PE, they're probably not going to make the jump at all. Your hair is an angel investor, Amit. We have to be accredited for the second round, right, Amit? I don't. We might open up a crowdfunding round for the second round, which is not going to happen anytime soon. It would happen like in the next 18, 24 months, unless some interesting stuff happens over the next 6-7 months. But I think there would be a part of that round that would be allocated to non-accredited, but I can't confirm. More likely than not, yeah, you would probably have to be accredited. But we'll see. It just depends on how we're able to set everything up. Helion earnings today. Keep your eyes on the Class 8 disruptor. I haven't looked too much into Helion. I'll put that in my notes, though, to make sure to check on Helion. There are a lot of companies doing earnings today. Or not earnings today, but earnings this week. So earnings is not over yet. Helion, HYLN. That is their ticker symbol. Okay. I will keep that on the docket. They don't get anything tech. Yeah. And they don't want to get anything tech either. That's the other thing. Berkshire's too boring to invest in Elon. It would be really cool though if they did, bro. Like, could you imagine tomorrow, like the 13Gs come out and it's like Berkshire owns $50 billion worth of Tesla? I mean, that would be crazy. And it would also be such a stamp of approval, but it would be the biggest FU to value investors, right? Because every value investor I know has said that Tesla is unbelievably overvalued. It's this, and that. It's not like, they use every metric in the boat. And it's like, well, I don't know if you get Tesla. It's like, and if Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and Monish Pabrai don't get Tesla, if you're a value investor, you can't say you're better than those guys, so you can't get Tesla. It's like a cult ultimately at the end of the day, right? I'm not saying that doesn't exist in growth investing. I'm just saying like it would be hard to see your idol. It's like when Munger said, wow, look at Amazon on the RSI. It's only a 30. That's not too bad. 39 on the RSI. When Munger said Baba was his worst mistake ever, you just had a lot of value investors felt like they were betrayed because they thought Baba was the best value stock of all time. And it wasn't. It wasn't. It just wasn't. And neither was Neo that I had at $3 and I could have sold at 60 and I would have had like 50 grand, but I sold at 6. I remind everyone all the time of that. Let's go to ARK. Where's ARK right now? What is ARK doing? ARK is at 39.18. It's been kind of flat as well over the past couple of weeks. It's at 36 on the RSI. Zoom did not bring it up. Roku did not bring it up. I haven't heard from Kathy. Oh, you know where Kathy went? Bro, Kathy went to Grant Cardone's conference. That's how you know you're a little desperate for getting some attention, bro. You went to Grant Cardone's conference to talk about AI. Like, are you serious, bro? Like, that's insane. Oh, yeah, Rivian also has earnings today as well. That is true. Amit, when you take a long drive, how many Teslas do you see on the road? I see a lot, but that's also because I'm in New Jersey, and in New Jersey, there's a lot of Teslas. So I see a lot of them. So there's a lot. I've lost a lot of respect for Berkshire due to Baba. Yeah, I think a lot of people have as well. But like literally, bro, Kathy Wood went to Grant Cardone. Like when I saw this yesterday, I was like, what? The 10X conference is like some motivational kind of like conference thing. And Kathy went to it. Let me see if I can play some of it. I don't know if YouTube's going to load because YouTube's being a little weird, but this was wild to me. I was like, really, Kathy, you went to Grant Cardone? Like it was very interesting. All right.
Of meeting Sabrina and watching Scarlett, they have it. I can tell.
Yeah, YouTube's being weird, bro. It's like just not loading up the video. Let's see if it loads up here.
And we're able to tell when costs will be able to fall to low enough levels that the general public will be able to afford them and become very interested, and we can scale and enjoy. Able to tell.
You shared with me about what Amazon was doing with robots per employees.
Today, Amazon has more than 500,000 robots and more than 1.5 million employees, roughly. So their robot.
All right, so you get the point. Kathy Wood is at the Grant Cardone conference. For those that don't know Grant Cardone, I mean, I think most of you guys know him, right? Real estate, motivational dude. The 10X conference is supposed to just have business leaders that like tell you to get off your ass and stop being lazy. And Kathy Wood went there talking about AI. I mean, I don't even think that's the audience that cares about that shit. But she's there. She's going to be at a speaking event this Miami. Yeah, now the event she's going to at Miami is a little bit more legit than Grant Cardone. That event is at that is Anthony Pompliano's event, who I actually respect a lot. And, obviously he's been a Bitcoin dude for a while. He's like a Bitcoin maximalist. But my friend got invited to the event because she works with his wife on their newsletter. And she actually invited me to go to the event. The event's free to go to, but I would have to pay for the plane. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to go. I would only want to go if I could get to talk to Pomp. And there's like a $2,500 ticket to like spend 30 minutes with him. And I was like, I don't know if it's worth that much money just to talk to him. But like, that would be the only reason I want to go, not to like be in Miami or anything. So yeah, my friend is going to be there. And I think that event's actually going to be decent because they have some decent speakers talking there. And they're talking, it's your internet, bro. It might be my internet today. It might just be my internet. It's probably not YouTube, but internet's weird. I'm going. Yeah, it's free to go, right, Ahad? So anyone can show up and it'll be a dope event. Queen Kathy and Fish Dude. That's what I thought, Felicia. I was like, Kathy Wood and Grant Cardone, bro? What? That's crazy. That's pretty hilarious to me. I wonder if Meet Kevin was there. Yeah, he did used to stalk Grant. Those videos got him some attention, bro. Stalking Grant. Kathy talking about robot penetration and you stopped the video. Well, the video stopped, so I had to. Def not, he's an average dude. I used to watch his live stream every day though. Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, Cardone is a very he's a motivational dude. It's just the intersection of him and Kat. He just needs people to speak that know stuff about business. The funny thing is Kathy's fund has just performed so horribly because everything she has said has not happened outside of Tesla. Now, she can make the biggest comeback ever. It's just a question of if that's going to happen. Hims, let me look at that stock. Hims had a great earnings. I know a lot of people are excited about this stock. Let's see where the company is right now. Hims. That's up 19%. Look at that. I think they had like 550 million in revenue or something. They beat expectations pretty well. Market cap of only 2.39 billion. I know Adam Bergman, who's one of my, now it's at 78 on the RSI. So I would be a little, just from a technical perspective, a little bit worried about buying it right now, especially after it's run up 19%. But Adam Bergman, who has a great YouTube channel, he has been very bullish on Hims long-term. Kathy sold her Hims to double down on Teladoc, which is, if we just look at the max on Teladoc, 308 to 27. The big collapse from like 260 to like 80 or something, it happened. I remember seeing it happen in 2022. It was pretty bad. I think it was here 150 down to like 34. Yeah, that was when they had the impairment charge and they like lost $6 billion or something crazy. Now Teladoc at 27. I mean, these are the stocks she's betting: Teladoc, Roku, Zoom, Coinbase, and Square. One of those has to be the next Tesla. And if it's not, then things are not going to be that good for Kathy. But we are going to see. Okay. I think that's it for me, guys. Let's do one last look at the market, and then I'll be out. Again, you can check out that link in the description. $250 off using my code. I'm not getting paid for it, but I think it would be a dope thing for anyone who wants to learn angel investing, and the money, the $50 gets donated anyway. So it'd just be a cool session you could have with Jason. Palantir at around 802. I'll have a video coming out later talking about the NHS deal. Roku at 63, Zoom at 74, holding on to its earnings. Ginkgo earnings tomorrow. Going to be excited to see that. And Tesla at 207, up 0.18%. Nvidia 234. Let's see where this all plays out. Palantir at 802 now, down 0.19%. All right. That's it for me. That's it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you later throughout the day. See you guys again on the market open tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Last day of February. Make something out of it. I'm going to try to do the best I can today to get stuff done. And then we begin the third month of 2023, March, starting tomorrow. All right. That's it. Daily Cabo will be out in an hour. Make sure you check it out. I'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody.